Cursed creatures.
If Branka is anywhere, this has to be it. She will not be unprepared.
What was that?
Let me be blunt with you. After all this time, my tolerance for social graces is fairly limited. That doesn't bother you, I hope.
Well, shave my back and call me an elf. Branka, by the stone! I barely recognized you.
Ogren. It figures you'd eventually find your way here. Hopefully you can find your way back more easily. And how shall I address you? Hired sword of the latest lordling to come looking for me? Or just the only one who didn't mind Ogren's ale breath?
Be respectful, woman. You're talking to a Grey Warden.
Ah, so an important errand boy, then. I suppose something serious has happened. Is Enrin dead? That seems most likely. He was on the old and wheezy side. A king won't defeat a blight. We've had 40 generations of kings, and lost everything. I don't care if the Assembly puts a drunken monkey on the throne. Because our protector, our great invention, the thing that once made our armies the envy of the world, is lost to the very dark spawn it should be fighting. The Anvil of the Void. The means by which the ancients forged their army of golems and held off the first archdemon ever to rise. It's here, so close I can taste it. A thousand Balins could die and history wouldn't notice. I'm looking for the one thing that will return our days of glory. The anvil lies on the other side of a gauntlet of traps designed by Caradon himself. My people and I have given body and soul to unlocking its secrets. This is what's important. This has lasting meaning. If I succeed, the Dwarven people benefit. Kings, politics, all that is transitory. I've given up everything and would sacrifice anything to get the Anvil of the Void. Enough questions. If you wish me to get involved with this imbecilic election, I must first have the Anvil. There's only one way out, Warden. Forward. Through Caradon's maze, and out to where the Anvil waits.
What has this place done to you? I remember marrying a girl you could talk to for 1 minute and see her brilliance.
I am your paragon.
Good old Branka. She's a bit, abrasive, isn't she? Guess I forgot that part about her screeching in my ear every sodding day. Oh well. We'll help her get the anvil, and then she'll come home, and everything will be better.
I needed people to test Caradon's traps. There's no way to break through. Trial and error.
Let's get
Sent
started.
them in. They were all mine. Pledged to
This
be
should
my
be easy
house.
enough.
And they didn't want to help. They tried to leave me. Even my Hesped. You couldn't understand that when you reach for it, there are sacrifices in the places. As many
Dark spawn
sacrifices
approach.
as there
What's for
are-
their blood?
What? No?
Let's do it then.
Watch out, trap there. As you like. On it.
My name is Carrigan. Once, longer ago than I care to think, I was a paragon to the dwarves of Orzammar. If you seek the anvil, then you must care about my story, or be doomed to relive it. Though I made many things in my time, I rose to fame and earned my status based on a single item, the Anvil of the Void. It allowed me to forge a man of steel or stone, as flexible and clever as any soldier. As an army, they were invincible, but I told no one the cost. No mere smith, however skilled, has the power to create life. To make my golems live, I had to take their lives from elsewhere. So said my king. I had only intended to use volunteers, but he was not satisfied, and soon a river of blood flowed out of this place. Finally, it was too much. I refused, and so Valtor had me put on the anvil next. No! I entombed myself here to find a way to destroy the anvil. It must not be used again!
No! The anvil is mine! No one will take it from me!
You, please, help me destroy the anvil. Do not let it enslave more souls than it already has. As long as the anvil exists, it may be used to create slaves, and it will be used. Why seek a more difficult path when another, easier path is available? Help me destroy it. No! I cannot allow you to do this. To me, golems! Defend the anvil, whatever the cost!
Let's get started. As you wish. This should be easy enough.
Names. Long list of dwarves. Wait, hold on. We honor who have made this sacrifice. Let their names be remembered. Fart me a lullaby. It's a memorial. Of all the dwarves who became golems. Has to be. If there was some way of getting this back to the Shaper at Norzamar, I bet they'd brown their trousers and pay good gold for it. Probably both.
Here it is! The Anvil of the Void! So sweet! Such power!
You found the anvil. Are you happy now? Maybe we could go back to Orzammar, share the good news.
Look at it. It was worth it. All of it. The Anvil is everything I thought it would be.
I should have known. I thought that once you had the anvil, you'd be satisfied.
Perhaps I could use it now. A reward for defeating Caradon. You wanted a crown, no? Or have you set your sights higher than the petty kings of Orzammar? Then stand aside and I shall forge it for you. Take it to whomever you please. There it is. An ugly lump of hot metal to go over a couple of empty heads. Now leave. It will take me some time to fully realize the mysteries here. Once Orzammar settles on its petty king, have him send for me. When next you lead your armies against the archdemon, they will be shielded by a tide of steel men.
I hope this makes you happy, Branka. I don't think you understand what it costs to get you here.
Oh, stuff a rag in it, Ogren. Move on. Find a few whores. Sodding stone, I never thought you'd be the pining type. Now be gone.
Well, I guess you both got what you wanted. Hope it was worth the cost. We should get back to the city now. Share the news. Aye. Pretty much beat the sod out of how I imagined it. You ready to head back yet and share the news? Yeah, those Deshirs have been trying to destroy the city for years. Haven't managed yet.
Lords of the Assembly, I call for order! This argument gets us nowhere.
Then why these delaying tactics? I call for a vote right now! My father has one living child to assume the Idukan throne. Who would deny him that?
Your father made me swear on his deathbed you would not succeed him.
I apologize for the interruption, Lord Stewart, but the Grey Warden has returned.
Well, Warden, what news do you bring?
Branka still lives. Though she's mad as a nug at a tanner shop. She finally found the Anvil of the Void, and chose to stay in the Deep to work it. She tasked this Grey Warden to give her crown to Orzamar's next king, chosen by the ancestors as the first in a millennium to lead a Golem army against a blight.
I would like to believe Ogren's word, but it's well known the Grey Warden is Balin's hireling.
Silence! Then tell us, Grey Warden, which king did Paragon Branka endorse?
Why would a Paragon trust someone who knows nothing of us with such a decision? This is preposterous!
We've argued in these chambers for too long. The will of the Paragon is that the Grey Warden decide.
At last, this farce is ended, and I can take my rightful place on my father's throne.
Let the memories find you worthy. First amidst the lords of the houses, the King of Orzammar.
Do you acknowledge me as king?
I cannot defy a Paragon. The throne is yours, King Balin.
Then as my first act as king, I call for this man's execution. Guards, seize him! You know better than anyone the war facing us, Warden. Orzammar cannot afford to be divided. Anyone undermining my reign is serving only the Darkspawn. I will return to my palace to gather my generals and prepare our forces for the surface. I will see you there, Warden. You have my gratitude for all you have done for me. You have proven yourself and more, Warden. Without your aid, I would not have taken this throne so smoothly or so soon. As all in Orzammar now see, I've already sent a mission to Branka. I'm certain by the time you call for us, I can send you a vanguard of golems for your army. Since you did more than I expected, I offer a personal reward as well. This was a mall favored by my brother Trian. Take it with you, as a reminder of your ties to Orzammar. Now, I have much to do. If there is nothing else... I'll see what I can do. Now, I must address my other petitioners. Come back and visit sometime. There are people waiting, Warden. I must see to them.
On it.
So, I was thinking, we've come to know each other fairly well during our time in the Deep Roads. You're bloody fearsome for a human, and I'm a warrior without a house to defend. Wandering about killing Darkspawn with a sodding Grey Warden sounds like just the thing to keep me occupied. So what do you say? And glad I am to hear it. You won't regret it. Now, do any of these sad sacks following you around know the first thing about making ale? Never mind. You can stop with the glaring. I'll ask him myself.
The throne restored and legends put to rest. Incredible. If I'd heard it secondhand, I'd have called it a sodding lie. Warden, we've got a king because of you. The rest, impressive, but the Legion is grateful most for restored leadership. It frees us to fight to the Darkspawn properly. Nay, our place is down here. When you break the Blight, and you've got the skill, we'll make sure they have nowhere to retreat. You'll have us indirectly. That's more than any surfacer can say. You alone have the skill to back up your words. Each of the Legion owes our homeland a death, but if our lives are better shed on the surface, so be it. Back to Orzammar when we win, though. I'll not stay topside to lose my stone sense.
The Warden is joined with Balin. We can't allow it! Most impressive, Warden. King Balin's ascent to his father's throne has been recorded in the memories. Is there something more I can help you with? What's this? A list of names. Most of these clans no longer even exist. Is this authentic?
You bet your hairy arse it is. Taken from a tablet in Caridin's fortress, no less.
Then is it true? The rumors of Caridin's so-called volunteers? Extraordinary! I would love to make a copy of this. The Shaperate has never had much information on Caridin and his golems, much less proof of this magnitude. Warden, I hope this artifact from our archives will suffice as a reward. I must inform the Shaperate at once.
I started to worry. I didn't know if you were ever coming back. Did you find any records? Any sign of the old Orton Tig? You found them? Let me see. That's my great-grandmother's name. And her husband! Oh, great ancestors, it's them! It's me! I am an Orton. Oh, thank you. I have to take these to the assembly right away. Find me there. Once these are acknowledged, I'll give you any reward. My name's Orta. After the old Orton house, they gave our seat back. And the records show which houses still owe House Orton money. One day, I will be able to properly thank you for all you've done for me. I will. And I don't know what treasure is left, but whatever I get, you can have as much as you want. I'll have to find someone willing to look. Maybe a whole expedition. If the Tig is still there, it must have something. House Orton will not forget this kindness. Didn't that sound official?
News of the hour.
I trust Vala, my nug-wrangling friend.
You've returned. With all the excitement over the new king, I never expected you to remember my poor son. Did you learn anything about my ruck? Oh, my poor boy. I guess I knew, but I just wish I could have seen him one last time. Here, this is my husband's masterwork, the first shield he smithed. I don't have anyone to save it for anymore. I'd like you to have it, for what you risked to bring me this news. Ancestors cherish my boy's spirit.
So you do not fear the crows at all?
Enemies approaching!
You're starting to take for Harrowmont!
If you were wrong,
And I will bet one does not do what fear
On your guard!
One of us is able to choose which master you serve. Trust me, my dear. I am well pleased with my current direction.
No more matches until the new king decrees it.
We are at your service.
Greetings.
I don't understand those silent sisters. I sure wouldn't want my
king just sent word.
My admirable priestly.
A new king! We should hold a proving.
I sense something going
There will be no new provings until the king announces it.
You never did answer my question about that filth you so enjoy.
That's right, I didn't.
I hope you're not referring to Alistair.
Give me a moment.
Of course everything's all right. Just give me one sodding moment.
Why, the stone. I feel like I'm about to fall off the world with all that sky up there. If I could fight Randar Volney's second after downing 15 lichen ales in half an hour, I'm not gonna be put off by a high sodding ceiling.
Well, let's get moving. We're losing, daylight.
I've told you what I know. If it... Oh, I've told you what I know.
Braska.
Indeed.
Don't look now, Dark Spawn!
Push it.
Thank you, thank you, Maker. Thank you, thank you.
On it.
Critters.
Let's get started.
Crap, right ahead.
This should be easy enough.
You'll have to forgive me if I seem a bit nervous. Not many people travelling in this part of Ferelden. Of course, that's part of my problem, isn't it? Mule got spooked by a wisp and ran off into the woods. Now what do I do? Oh, no, I sent the elf to do that. I wouldn't dream of asking a stranger to do it. Allow me to introduce myself. Felix de Grosbois, merchant and entrepreneur at your service. A Grey Warden? That's quite impressive, isn't it? My word. I don't normally take this route, but with the war, I was hoping for a bit of luck and good weather in the mountains. Sadly, I've had neither. Ugh, this trip has been one miserable disaster after another. I don't suppose you consider helping a fellow out? Of all the other things that went wrong, the worst is this artifact I brought in Jada. It's a control rod, I'm told, for a golem. No point in me keeping it, however, as I'll never get to use it. But, maybe you could? Nothing. I just don't want to have to lug around something that might be taken for a gemstone by some bandit. To be honest, I don't even know if it'll be useful to you. I'd pay too much to simply throw it away. The dwarf I brought it from said it activates and controls a golem. So long as you have it in your hand, the golem does what you say. Might be useful, no? I mean, you look like the sort who could use one, yes? Just as well. You'll find the golem in a village named Honleith, in the hinterlands. Here, I'll mark it on your map. I've heard it might be dangerous there with all the darkspawn about, but I'll wager that's not an issue for someone like you. Just hold up the rod and say Dulaf Gar. That will wake the golem up, so I'm told. I hope it works. Best of luck to you then. Now, I guess it's up to me to find that mule myself.
Yes, it is good to have my sword at my side again. I call her Asala, the soul, my soul. She is forged from rare blue steel and has served me faithfully for many years. Yes, you understand what it is like to have a weapon that is part of you. Few others do.
What say you?
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you.
Unexpected, thank you. Unexpected, thank you.
Something on your mind?
Something I can help with?
Let's get started.
and your friends are formidable folk. I'm sure you'll be...
How nice. How nice.
It'll do, sure.
How nice.
Interesting.
Why,
Oh, thank you.
There you are. Wanted to talk to you. You and I, we've... You know how sometimes you spend time with people and things? I was thinking, I do know some people out here on the surface. A person, actually. A girl I knew in Orzammar. Before I left, obviously. It'd be nice to talk to someone else who's been out here a while. Someone else from Orzammar. Her name's Felsi. She and I were friends after Branka left for the deep roads. I'm sure she's forgiven me by now. Thought maybe I'd track her down, see how she's been living. Last I heard, she was gonna live with her mother on the surface near some lake. Clean Bad Lake, was it? Yeah, I sod it, I don't remember. No, I think it was Clean Bad. I remember because I thought, yeah, that's right. Dirty good, clean bad. Yeah. But thanks for offering to take us there. You're a good friend, Warden. No, what was it you wanted to say? You want to be a berserker? Thought I'd never see the day. I'll teach you. Just be ready. To be a berserker, you have to face your own inner rage. Let the spirit of battle take over. And all that dust. There's a whole pile of philosophical rot. I can teach you what gets my hackles in a Once you got that, I tell you, you're a quick study, Warden. You must have been seriously steamed up about... You need to shut that... We had to kick him in... Berserkers grab that anger. Well, for most berserkers it does. Several years ago, we had to kick him in the stones before he could get... I'm listening. What about? Oh, sure, I'm fine with it. I mean, she was a real firebrand between the sheets, but a bit soft in the... Handling what? Branka? Ancestor. Come to talk to old Ogren, have you? Nothing. Did you want to talk about something? What about? It's sodding great. No one... Pull up a drink, Warden. Did you want to talk about something? What about? What? Miss Orzammar? Are you mad? All right. Ass chaps.
indeed.
Yes.
Show me what you've done! Is that all you've got?
Ask away. Done.
What's some one-forge human village doing with a golem that fine?
By the Maker, we're saved!
You weren't sent by the ban, were you? To save us? A Grey Warden? Here! Thank the Maker for our luck! But if you weren't sent by someone, why are you here? If you don't mind me asking. A merchant? Why would a merchant... Oh, I think I see. This is about shale, isn't it? I should have known. That damnable golem brought us nothing but trouble. My mother sold the rod years ago after it killed my father, and good riddance! My father's name was Wilhelm, mage to the Arls of Redcliffe and a hero in the war against Orlais, and what did he get? One day my mother found him outside the tower, with so many broken bones she could barely recognize him, and shale standing over him just like it is now. My father deserved better than that. But if you really want to wake shale up, well, it's yours now. My mother might have passed along the wrong command phrase when she sold the rod. She said she never wanted to see shale active again. Look, I'll tell you the command phrase, but I'll need your help first. I know you already saved my life, and I'm grateful, but my daughter is inside the laboratory. She was afraid and ran too far in before I could stop her. I don't know how she made it past my father's defenses. One of the men tried to go after her. He was killed, but you could find her, couldn't you? You will? Thank the Maker! My father's laboratory is just past the next area, I think. She has to be there.
As you wish. Let's get started. As you wish.
Don't cut. Oh look, someone's come to play. You have come to play, haven't you? We're playing a guessing game. It's better with more people. Kitty and me, of course. You don't see anyone else here, do you? Anyway, you should go if you're not going to play. Kitty finds you distracting. Kitty's clever. She says you want to take me back to my father, but I'm not going. She would be lonely.
I would not suggest leaving in such hostile company anyhow, Amalia. Look how they act.
Of course she's a cat. She just talks, that's all.
Talking is simple enough, once you know how.
Oh, bug whistles, you're just no fun. I'm going to ignore you now.
Nothing you say will convince Amalia to go with you. She loves only me now. I am her friend, while you are just a stranger. I have done nothing. I am all but powerless. The mage made sure of that, didn't he? I cannot leave this chamber. No, Amalia found me. After decades of isolation, her company is... welcome.
Ah.
It seems we are at an impasse, so let me propose a compromise of sorts. Release me, mortal, and let me have the girl. Let us return to her father and leave this place forever. That's such a crude way of putting it. I do not wish to harm Amalia. I merely want to see your world through her eyes. Is that so wrong? Thank you. You are very gracious. The mage's wards hold me within this chamber, and only a mortal may approach them. There is a trick to disarming the wards, but I do not know it. Perhaps you will succeed where the girl failed.
Oh, this is so exciting! Kitty is going to be free! I've always wanted a cat, and Kitty is so perfect and pretty.
This should be easy enough.
I like it when Kitty sings to me.
Right. This should be easy enough. As you wish. As you wish.
Father doesn't like cats, but he never met Kitty.
On it. As you wish.
Kitty says Grandpa Wilhelm locked her up in this room. Isn't that awful?
Let's get started. Right. Let's get
Kitty's
started.
my best friend.
As you wish.
I was thinking about the sun, silly.
As you wish.
Tell me a story.
This should be easy enough. This should be easy enough.
Oh, it's a flower. Is it a daffodil? I like daffodils.
Yes. I can feel the magic fading. Oh, I had forgotten how it feels not to be caged.
Kitty? What's happening?
A wonderful thing, my dear, for both of us. Betrayal! You will not take the girl. She is mine!
Kitty! You're scaring me! I won't let you inside me! I won't! sorry I ran away, Daddy. I was so scared.
It's all right, Butterfly. You're safe now. All the bad creatures are gone. The phrase to activate Shale is Doolan Han. If you still want that bloody thing. I wouldn't if I were you. Now we should go, and quickly. Thank you again. We owe you our lives.
I knew that the day would come when someone would find the control rod. And not even a mage this time. Probably stumbled across the rod by accident, I suppose. Typical. It thinks these crystals are simply for show, I see. Huh. I stood here in this spot and watched the wretched little villagers scurry around me for, oh, I have no idea how long. Many, many years.
Oh, you poor dear. That would be really, really boring.
I was just beginning to get used to the quiet, too. Tell me, are all the villagers dead? Some got away, then. How unfortunate. Perhaps I may have forgotten after all the years of being called Gollum. Gollum, fetch me that chair. Do be a good Gollum and squash that insipid bandit. And let's not forget, Gollum, pick me up. I tire of walking. It does have the control rod, doesn't it? I am awake, so it must. I see the control rod, yet I feel... Go on, order me to do something.
Hey, no dwarf tossing.
And, nothing. I feel nothing. I feel no compulsion to carry out its command. I suppose this means the rod is... broken? I suppose if I can't be commanded, this means... I have free will, yes? It is simply... what should I do? I have no memories beyond watching this village for so long. I have no purpose. I find myself at a bit of a loss. What about it? It must have awoken me for some reason, no? What did it intend to do with me? May I ask what sorts of things it gets up to for which I could be so potentially useful? It refers to the Darkspawn, the very creatures that destroyed this village. The Darkspawn are an evil that must be destroyed, it's true, though not as evil as the birds. Damnable feathered fiends. I suppose I have two options, do I not? Go with it or go elsewhere? I do not even know what lies beyond this village. Did I? I remember that I had a former master. The mage with the furry brows who poked and prodded and barked orders. Did I kill him? I hope I did kill him. Perhaps the last order he barked was, Gollum, stop crushing my head. Ah! What can I say? I have a heart of stone.
A golem, huh? Well, I guess there are worse things to have following you around than a giant boulder with fists.
I will follow it about then. For now. I am called Shale, by the way. This should be interesting.
Right. On it.
Let's get started.
Ooh, shiny. Very nice indeed. Very nice,
That looks fine indeed.
I'm to keep this, am I? Fine. I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them. Technically, perhaps. But according to the many years I spent observing the average human in Honleith, I doubt it has much in common with them. Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings? Oh, then that must be it. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. It is quite welcome. Now, let us crush something. I have a question for it if it will indulge. My understanding is that it encountered the smith named Caradin, he who was responsible for the creation of the golems, that he had become a golem himself. What I do not know is what became of him. Why did he not return with it? I would have many questions for him. Truly? He just disappeared? Then what of the Anvil of the Void? Has it been recovered? So, something of the past has been recovered. Perhaps other golems will be made again. I can only assume that is a good thing. With Caradin also goes any chance I might have had of finding answers on my past, I assume. Tell me, did it find out anything from Caradin? Anything at all about how I might have... Meaning that I was once a living creature? That seems highly unlikely, and more than a little insulting. Is it certain? Was I forced into this? Or simply glad to abandon a frail body? And more importantly, who was I? I simply must know. I cannot help but believe that answers lie elsewhere in the deep roads. We must look. If it can search the deep roads, I may remember something. If not, then I will have to wait. It speaks. Different. Should I talk in a monotone? Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I have never... Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do? Ah, yes. I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. Imagine the benefit. The possibilities are limitless. Now stop talking so much. It speaks. Yeah. Does it wish me to leave? I can. No doubt. Without me, it would have to carry its inventory on its own. Perhaps we should continue. It speaks. It doesn't have better things. I like to think of them as accessories. I suspect that it is an art that was practiced when golems... He searched far and wide to collect what crystals he could and then added them. It is not an unpleasant... So I would assume. As I understand it, the crystals allow me to... Not really. Some of the crystals increase the presence of man. All I can promise is that should it ever find one of these crystals, I can likely tell it. Why not? That answers its question, I assume. Unless it has more. Did I not already tell it that I do not remember doing such? So, my former master enjoyed experiment. Bah, I am no mage. He possessed... So what happened? I am unsure. He was experimenting. Oh, ho, ho. And then he was gone. The villagers came, poked and prodded me. In fact, for so many years I'd had to leap to that little toad's... The gall! At first, I'd hoped he'd simply decided to leave me there paralyzed. Possibly. Whatever the mage did seemed to render the control rod useless. And provided it doesn't decide to copy his experiments, not that I would allow it, so I have come to realize. If that was not the case, I would have gone elsewhere by now. Let us get back to... It speaks. It doesn't have better things to do. Oh, how he enjoyed impressing the villain. Plus, his wife. So the mage... with a chisel. Once I was a statue. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Hag. And before that, I do not aid. Yes.
Yes.
Let's do something fun.
Ready. This should be easy enough. shall we?
Orzammar has heard your call. We march for you, Warden.
Sure thing.
No. Perhaps it thinks I should. It may have something to do with Carradon's words. If there is some way to make a copy of these runes, I am willing to study them. Perhaps there is something to be gleaned from them, I know not.
Perhaps if I activate the medium ore and the principal node.